So Kevin McCall played his music, and now people are confused on why he's still not popping. So first and foremost, this is an example of the dead internet theory, where nothing on the internet is real, or nothing is believed to be real. Everything is a possible theory, or people have theories about what's really going on, right? So Kevin McCall, I guess, is playing some music, which again, never said homie wasn't talented, right? Never said that, right? But this is an example of a content creator needs to get you to click, but a content creator can start a whole like thread of thinking and influence so many people by just putting up one of these headlines. I'm gonna tell you right now why he's not popping. Homie is mentally unstable. He does not understand business. He has no long-term thinking. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's still the kind of nigga who come around and shit be tense. All right, like, cause nigga, he look confrontational. I had a conversation with my homeboy yesterday about like, yo, about dark skin privilege, and how do we get to this point where someone who has a great opportunity in life just squanders the entire thing? How does that happen? Your behaviors were never checked. No one ever checked you or ever stopped you. And what happened is you became this overly aggressive person with no emotional regulation. You have no long-term thinking. At the end of the day, fam, I don't want to hear nothing. You had features with Chris Brown. That shouldn't be the EBT nothing. If you couldn't turn that into a whole career, nah, fam. Oh, listen, you could at least try to apologize. Niggas will never think of that. When someone ruins their career and it doesn't occur to them, yo, I needed to go do a public apology. Nigga, you done everything but publicly apologize to Chris Brown. If not for Chris Brown, niggas would have never known who you was, bro. So anyway, this clip is playing some joints and whatnot. I'm gonna play it real quick. Sound pretty groovy to me. Check it out. Fuck it if you feel some type of way, girl. Maybe we should go our separate ways, girl. Trying to crash out, her and the bestie. I'm trying to text her, she trying to press me. Can I trust her? Can she trust me? Don't do the sneaky thing. Don't wanna hurt you, cause I really can't. Part of me don't really wanna play fair. When I need emotion, never there. I'll be wrong if I take it there. Say the heart don't lie. No surprise, I'm back outside. Guess we barely on that time. If you want that, then I'm on that too. It's okay, girl. Karma, that's my bitch, she on the way, girl. Fuck it if you feel some type of way, girl. Maybe we should go our separate ways, girl. Her and the bestie. Somebody wrote, bro crashed out on purpose to go viral. Genius marketing. That's why I had a problem, man. My nigga, no, we're not going to do that. We're not, no. Hold on, fuck that shit.
You don't even do nothing.
I don't do nothing, bro.
What the?
You know what? Hold on, man. Where's it at? Hold on, where is it?
Because they
Yeah. Some of you niggas ain't real. God damn it. We're not doing that shit. And this is a prime example of dark skin privilege. No. They referring to this nigga crashing out on a podcast, telling everyone his business, talking about he on EBT. Fam, what you on ain't my business. Your finances ain't nobody business. You are an artist. You were supposed to be there to promote your music, not cry about your shortcomings. And having a conversation about, yo, if you could have got that 25K from CB, my nigga, you did that record years ago. And I understand the nigga owe you money. I'm not saying that if he owes you money, he shouldn't pay you. But what I tell y'all, the feminist mindset, right? Lack of emotional regulation, the producing these people who cannot solve their own problems. That's why he's not popping. If people, when you get labeled difficult to work with, it's certain people in the industry, right, who get labeled difficult to work with, and some artists will make it a point to avoid that label because it will hurt them in the long run. Because they're able to think long term of, all right, if I keep burning bridges, if I make people uncomfortable to work with me and everything, I won't have a good career. And I feel like on some level, that's in, how can I say? I feel like society and especially with black folks, we're encouraged to think that crashing out, going against the status quo, going against orders and the rules and whatnot is somehow honorable or somehow exercising freedom. But really, it's insecurity, and I always feel like that shit comes from being a slave. Is that we didn't enjoy as a people freedom for so long, and now that we can say what we want to say without getting arrested for it, and be where we want to be at without getting arrested for it. Like I guess there was a time not that long ago when like listen, let's see, it's 2025, 60 years ago, the Civil Rights Act came to be. Before that, right, you could put no niggas allowed on your business. You can have an institution and say we do not allow Negroes to attend college here. That was really a thing. That wasn't 500 years ago. That was kind of recent. Meaning like, yo, listen, my grandmother is alive now. My grandmother was a grown woman when that whole thing was going on. She was over 18 when that whole thing was going on. No, let me see. My grandmother. No. My grandmother was 19 years old when the Civil Rights Act got signed into law and everything. So when she went down south, she would see those signs. I never forget my grandfather making this joke at the Chinese buffet, and he said, because it was nice in there and the food. Listen, well, I was 8 years old, so it was good to me. Like hearing the possibility of being able to eat as much Chinese food as I want, that shit blew my fucking mind. I just couldn't believe it. Like to this day, I couldn't believe it. The food was amazing to me at 8 years old. But my grandfather made this joke about, if this was down south, there'll be a sign right here that says "No color allowed," and it's still kind of funny. It's funny, but he lived in a time where that was fresh in his mind. That wasn't something that he was a grown man seeing that shit. He was a grown man dealing with that. You understand? But anywho, but going back to the Kevin McCall thing, right? This is what I mean by dark skinned ninjas be having a higher level of Negro credit. All right. Someone also said, sad to say, this would be a missile. I've never heard a hot joint called a missile, but he said this would be a missile if Chris Brown was singing it. Why is Ray J at the scene of every crime? Am I the only one who hears a little bit of Chris Brown in this shit? Real talk, this is actually how Chris Brown be doing all his music. So now I got a question. Did he get it from Kevin McCall? Or is Kevin McCall imitating CB? Aha. Anywho. Someone also wrote, well played, Mr. McCall. You have the people's attention now. So what people are speaking to is what someone would do if they were very smart and calculated. And for the most part, people cannot handle the fact that dark-skinned niggas are very emotional. It's easy to get a dark-skinned nigga into a dress. Okay, shout out to Tyrese. Dark-skinned, Tyrese is most famous for crying online. What more do you want from me? My Shayla. Goodness fucking gracious. That nigga done cried on the Breakfast Club. And listen, I love Tyrese, but that nigga done cried a lot on TV. All right? And the part of that shit comes from people just, dark-skinned niggas have higher Negro credit. You feel me? But no, nigga, like, so I was saying, hold on, this is what I wrote. I said, dark-skinned privilege is alive and well in this comment section. So by y'all logic, that means that he has multiple baby mamas on purpose for marketing. By that logic, he got locked up and got in trouble for marketing. He also got blackballed to the point where he can't afford a haircut on purpose for marketing. Dark skin privilege is crazy. And yes, homie is talented, but obviously he has to work on himself as a man and get his mental health together. That's why it's important for kids to learn emotional regulation, because they become adults who can't problem solve efficiently, which leads to ruined opportunities. I'm sorry, it looks crazy messed up, but you get where I'm going with it, right? So I hope maybe this young man can kind of get it together and stop crashing out, and maybe he can take advantage of this moment, right? But probably not, because here we go. Check this out. So I'm not sure how we got here, but Kevin McCall challenges Breezy. Got Chris Brown name in his mouth. He said, I will sing his high yellow ass back to them sticks in Virginia. Let's open this up real quick. Pause. It says, Sir Nose, do you accept my challenge? He said, challenge? Oh, shit. Or do you want to wave the white R&B flag? Mario, you seen what happened to the last security guards at the real Michael Epps voice. Chris Brown tucked him tail and he should, cause I'll sing his high yellow ass back to them sticks in Virginia. I'm talking music and y'all scared of me in that. Put y'all money where y'all. Why you spelling y'all with one L? Put y'all money where y'all. Oh, cause he took a L. Ooh, I'm just saying.
Get up and get out of them relationships.
Man,
Like
why are you here, bro?
He said, "I'm the bishop of R&B. Show some." He said, "Show." Damn, he did some bad spelling, bro. Like you ain't got, bro. You're not busy. Why was you rushing through do your caption on Instagram? Anyway, he says, I'm the bishop of R&B. Show some reverence, little niggas. Well, there's no point in putting little niggas. All right, okay, whatever. This the Marty rap. CB going block when the pressure gets too strong. Haha. No, they know my secret. Sing little. I don't know. All right, this is nasty. I guess the point being is he's trying to challenge Chris Brown to a sing off. I'm not sure what he think he fucking doing. This is fucking crazy, bro. You can't be online crying and then and the next day be challenging anyone to a sing off. Chris Brown is on tour right now wearing light up shoulder pads. He don't gotta talk to you about nothing. You crying about your food stamps on a podcast. Chris Brown is wearing light up shoulder pads on concerts, grinding on people's baby mothers. Okay? Shit is just different. And the caption for this drawing is just perfect. That shit says, laugh my ass off. Not you trying to challenge CB and singing. Get the fuck out of here. Don't piss me off. Oh man, nigga said, boy, please. He ain't saying nothing but the black off his lips. What he thought. Chris don't have time to be playing with him. Time is money. Something he don't have. Well, if that was the case, why was you crying broke on the internet with your EBT card? He must be taking the same drugs as Nicki. That's a whole thing that we gotta get into. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it here for right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out with this, man. Make sure I get big real quick. This is why these niggas don't be getting better. You understand? This is why they don't get better. They don't get better because they always got niggas like y'all to be able to make them feel as though what they're doing is okay, what they're doing is right, and they don't need to change anything. That man did not come out and show y'all nothing that said that he did all this to go viral. All right, that would mean that he understands marketing. That would mean that he understands how to market his music. But if he understood how to market his music, we would know him for more of his music. We know him mostly for getting locked up, having kids with Eva Marcel, even from America's Next Top Model, and not being afford child support and beefing with Chris Brown. That's how we know this nigga. I don't know you for nothing else. All right, and also he's on Deuces and he's on Strip. I think he's a super talented guy, but y'all be coddling these dark skinned niggas too much, right? And that's why they feel as though they can, basically play the victim. Because that's what this whole story is about. You keep talking like you were Chris Brown's victim, when you should be saying, thank goodness that someone like CB saw some potential in my music, right? And wanted to use my song. And now people know who I am. Anywho, I'm out of here, man. Subscribe to the channel. Love y'all. Peace.